featuring Lisa Marie Presley, Rob Zombie, Shannon Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Shannon Elizabeth, and I am here tonight to introduce Avril Lavigne.
Stay, Ian Robinson, Jim Brewer, Jillian Barbery.
My name is Mark Hobbs, and I'm here with my Lars action figure, hoping I get it signed.
Jolene Blaylock, Lincoln Parks, Chester Bennington, Blink-182, Travis Barker, Sean Penn, Michelle Branch.
Hey, I'm Michelle Branch, and I am bringing some troops on stage tonight.
Puddle of Muds, Wes Scantlin, and Snoop Dogg.
Rock out.
Hey.
With performances by Sum 41, Korn,
Orange in the house! Master!
Avril Lavigne.
I am performing with you all.
Limp Bizkit.
Woo!
And Metallica. Please welcome Lisa Marie Presley.
Wow, thanks. Thank you. Welcome to MTV icon Metallica. Tonight we honor a band that's real, real good, real honest, and real loud. For more than 20 years, they've kept the faith with their fans, selling nearly 90 million albums in the process. They've survived fame and fashion and come out of the other side of it alive and well and still kicking ass. Tonight we're going to hear Metallica's songs and get their inside story like you've never heard it before. So let's take a look.
This is a real landmark in Metallica's history. We've kind of shed our old skins and really got down to the bones of Metallica.
We've really learned a lot about how to communicate with each other and how to communicate what we need from each other.
The thing that's so weird about it, or ironic, or even sad, is Jason Newsted's model for what he wanted Metallica to be is basically the Metallica that exists now. And maybe he was like the sacrificial lamb for that to happen.
November 30th, 2000. Metallica hit the stage as tensions mounted, and their hard rock brotherhood reached a breaking point.
I knew that that was my last performance with Metallica. Appropriately, the song Fade to Black.
He was just in his own little cocoon, very incommunicado.
He basically just showed up. He didn't sit with us. He wasn't hanging or anything. It was just like, okay.
We had told him that we needed to talk after the show. That was the first time all four of us were in one spot for like a few months. We got off stage, and Jason wasn't around.
6 weeks later, Metallica met in a San Francisco hotel room to face each other and confront an uncertain future.
I had a proposition. That's how the meeting started. Let's just take 1 year off.
Jason told us that he was unhappy with the band. We said, why?
Don't you think that'd be cool and everybody can have their time and I could go and make my Echo Brain record?
We said, we can't take time off. We have to start making an album.
So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna have to step off. I'm walking.
We asked him to reconsider, and he wasn't really interested.
I got really emotional. I started bawling, and I said, what are we doing? Is this how it's gonna end?
And after he left, we started to take a hard look at ourselves, turn our eyes inward. Why did Jason leave? What part was ours in him leaving?
1986. Bassist Cliff Burton is killed in a tragic bus accident, and Metallica fan Jason Newsted gets a chance of a lifetime.
And there was no way anybody else was going to get this gig. This was my opportunity.
Newsted joined a band still reeling from the loss of a friend, and it's not easy.
The truth is, we grieved through Jason. I mean, we hazed him so hard.
It was his fault. We took it all out on him.
Hey, let's go!
And he was always thought of as the new guy. There was the three of us and Jason.
Jizzin' on ya. On the bass? That ain't new, man. Remember you were gonna say you were gonna come up with something new?
No, this
Shut up.
I guess we wanted to toughen him up. We wanted him to be as tough as us. We were brutal with him. And it never ended, really.
By the year 2001, family had taken precedence over the band. Both Lars and James were married with kids, leaving Jason with time on his hands.
I dedicated my life to music, so I have chosen not to be married or to have children. Music makes me alive. And when Metallica came to a point where they're taking months and months of time off from playing music, I have to still play music.
Jason made this record that he was super proud of, and he was told, you know, by James, you know, that he couldn't, you know, put that record out.
We're brothers. And I was struggling so hard to keep, you know, it's like choking Jason. I love you.
The rising conflict between Newsted and Hetfield exploded during an argument over the Echo Brain project.
My dedication was being questioned.
It was like, you can't be part of what's going on in Metallica, and you can't stray outside of Metallica, so you're stuck.
The person I respect the most disrespected me the most.
That's how I was taught to control things, through intimidation and rage.
And it just hit me in the head like a brick and said, you have got to stand up for your principles. Now's the time.
I really love Jason. I respect him a lot as a friend and a musician. I felt like I lost a brother, and I still feel that way.
It felt like we were fragmented. We didn't feel like a band.
Ironically, James would be next to take leave of Metallica, with his enrollment in a rehab center for the treatment of alcohol abuse only months after Jason's departure.
It was just, look, right now, I'm not in Metallica. Leave me alone. I need to take care of myself. Trust me on this. Goodbye.
I was in shock. We didn't have James Hetfield, and we weren't sure if he would ever come back.
The Metallica train never slowed down long enough for anybody to take stock of the mental health of the individuals in the band. It was never considered. We had to hold on for dear life as this train was just going out of control to squash everybody in its way.
Was Metallica's 20-year ride coming to the end of the line?
There's some heavy emotions going on, especially the first couple of bits there. The Jason stuff and the rehab stuff is pretty touching for me.
Coming up, a high-octane performance by Avril Lavigne.
I'm gonna go get ready to perform.
And in Chapter 2 of the Metallica story, full metal drama when James Hetfield leaves the band to confront his demons.
I'm a friggin' addict, and I can take anything to extremes.
And later, performances by Snoop Dogg, Limp Bizkit, Korn, and Metallica.
Metallica. You remember how great the first fall was, right? Well, nothing's changed. So expect the heaviest videos, the latest scene news, and plenty of metal mania. But unfortunately, it's the 21st century, so you can't expect the same awesome hair. Don't you dare miss the premiere of the Headbangers Ball this Saturday at 10 p.m.
Beavis and Butthead will
Stained. Please welcome Aaron Lewis and Mike Mushak.
So close, no matter how far. It couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. I never opened myself this way. Life is ours, we live it our way. All these words I don't just say, and nothing else matters. Trust I seek and I find in you. Every day for us something new. Open mind for a different view, and nothing else matters. Never cared for what they say, never gave the games they play, never cared for what they know, and I know. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters.
When you are left with nothing, all you do is speculate.
If Metallica ceased to exist, what would I do? Did I have enough things in my life that could fill that void?
We became masters of speculating ourselves into the darkest, blackest place possible.
Rehab was kind of like the last-ditch effort. If all else fails, that will work. And I was afraid to test that. What if it doesn't work?
James Hetfield was forced to confront his demons during a hunting trip in Russia.
I was in Siberia, in the middle of nowhere. We're in this chicken shack, 4 feet of snow with Russians, and they all have AK-47s and vodka. There was nothing to do for a week except sit there and drink. It just felt like a coffin almost for me. Then when I came home, the behavior continued and it just spun out of control. It was ripping my family apart. There was some ultimatums, being thrown out of the house. It took that for me to realize what a problem it was and what I could lose with it.
As ever present as their hard-charging riffs and sold-out shows, alcohol dominated the Metallica landscape.
When I first met these guys, they were drinking vodka like water.
Try the beer, pal.
Alcohol brought out everything that we needed to say to each other that we couldn't say while we were sober. And it became part of our legend. Because of that, I can't really recall most of the Kill 'Em All tour.
Summer 2001. Following 5 weeks in rehab, Hetfield was scheduled to join the band as they prepared to record the next album.
The day before we were going to start right back up, he called up and said, look, I'm not ready to start back up.
I couldn't even walk into the room with those guys. I was so fearful of just slipping back into old patterns. I'm a friggin' addict and I can take anything to extremes.
Part of me wanted to just drive over and say, like, what can I do to help you as a friend, Metallica, but I didn't have the guts to do that. Then kick yourself for not being aware of what the signs were, because of course there were clues planted.
There was lots of grieving from the past I wasn't done with, and just lots of childhood stuff. I'd come out a lot in the lyrics, more than I ever knew. I'd be writing about stuff I'd never tried, heroin or cocaine. There's no way I felt I had an addictive personality. I was pinning that tag on everyone else. Unforgiven. I could never forgive my parents for stuff. All of the problems in these lyrics, I go back now and read the stuff. It's like, my God, that's amazing.
Meanwhile, Lars and Kirk felt powerless. They could do little but wait and hope for the best.
He was supposed to go in for 8 weeks or so, maybe 12 weeks, but that turned out to be like 8 or 9 months.
Patience is not one of my stronger qualities, but it's been exercised a lot in the last year, so I'm somewhat better at dealing with it.
James Hetfield's recovery would tear down the old Metallica power structure. Now deprived of their longtime fuel of alcohol and internal conflict, could a renewed Metallica still burn with the same fire?
Ladies and gentlemen, Shannon Elizabeth.
I'm proud to be here tonight to represent for the female rock fans in the house. Although the boys in Metallica have always appealed to many of their own mankind, the truth is that women are just as moved by their sound. And now, I'm thrilled to introduce a small woman who rocks big. To burn on fuel from Metallica's Reload album, let's hear it for Avril Lavigne! Give me fuel, give me fire, give me another genocide!
Avril was great. It's just so cool. It's such a mind to sit here and like sort of check all the out.
Pretty interesting to hear my lyrics sung by a female. Not bad.
Coming up, Snoop Dogg rocks the house, and Korn puts their stamp on a Metallica classic.
Thank you, Metallica. Thank you very much for the inspiration and the chance to come do this for you.
Masters.
Yeah! Korn!
And in Chapter 3, Metallica brings metal to the mainstream, but pays the price.
A fan came up and spit on me. You made a video. You sold out.
What it is?
Metallica, boy.
Chill. Big Snoop Dogg up in here. About to rock out on y'all one time. You know what I'm talking about? Chill. I want y'all to sing this right here. If you know the words to this right here, put your hands in the air. Come on, sing along with me. Come on, y'all. Hey, hey, I'm your life. I'm the one who takes you there. Hey, hey, I'm your life. Say what? They betrayed. I'm your only true friend now. They betrayed. I'm forever there. I'm your dream, make you real. I'm your eyes when you must steal. I'm your pain when you can't feel. It's sad but true. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Come on, y'all. Sad but true. Yeah, Metallica, see you, baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. Metallica 2003. Yes!
Please welcome Jolene Blaylock and the director of House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie.
In the mid-'80s, sandwiched between bands like Rat and Poison, emerged a band who dared not to wear makeup, who dared not to sing "Oh Baby" in every other song. That band's name is Metallica.
Exactly. Think back to a time before Metallica. Everything sucked. Everybody was a pretty boy. No, not everyone. Okay, Black Sabbath, Motorhead, there was good stuff, but really, things were desperate. Everybody's teased hair, spandex, it was horrible. But then one band came along, 4 regular guys, t-shirts, jeans, skull-crushing metal, here to kill them all. And they changed metal forever. And they are still here because they are still great. They are still Metallica. And now we're going to look back at how it all began.
From the beginning, I wasn't very good at being responsible. I can't even be responsible for my own behavior. How can I be responsible for a generation of fans?
Please welcome Metallica.
We are Metallica. We're riding into town to rape and pillage and leave town. That's how we felt. We're 17, 18. We got stuff to say. Listen to us, or else we'll play louder and faster.
We were pretty vocal about it too, and we were pretty proud about it, and we made sure that everybody understood that we were the anti-Motley Crue.
Every time we went into a nightclub and played, we would always win over fans, and those fans didn't just become fans. I mean, they became disciples.
The tour in the Winnebago, that's it. It can't get any better.
For me, that would have been great if we had accomplished just that.
4 guys sleeping in the same room, sometimes in the same bed, because we couldn't afford anything more. It was just all for one for all, kill them all.
That's when the ride began.
In the fall of 1981, Lars Ulrich placed an ad in a local newspaper seeking like-minded musicians. James Hetfield would answer that ad. Soon after, bassist Cliff Burton and guitarist Dave Mustaine would join the band. Mustaine would ultimately be replaced by Kirk Hammett.
We went up to upstate New York. We began recording Kill 'Em All. We finished our parts, and Cliff and I took the Greyhound bus all the way back to San Francisco. 3 days on a Greyhound bus. All we had was a bunch of booze. We were projecting about, our future. Like, wow, what's the second Metallica album gonna sound like? And wow, what's the third Metallica album gonna sound like?
Their second effort, Ride the Lightning, featured a depth even beyond their debut.
I think Ride the Lightning, we matured a little bit.
It needed dynamics. In order for it to be fast, it had to be next to something that wasn't fast.
Fade to Black, that was probably the most personal or inside one of them all.
It was the first song that the press and the mainstream kind of focused on.
Yeah, it's fun to go out, seek and destroy, but after that, you're kind of stuck with some empty feelings,
At that time, me and James spent a lot of time obsessing about death.
I remember going to my girlfriend's house at the time, walking in, and her sister was blasting Fade to Black over and over. Wow, that means something to somebody.
Metallica's third album, Master of Puppets, took their sound to an even larger stage, landing them a high-profile arena tour spot supporting Ozzy Osbourne.
We had a meeting, our manager looked us all in the eyes and said, your album's gone gold, and you all have enough money that when you get back to San Francisco, you can all buy a house.
When it was time to take the band to the next level, Metallica alienated many of their core fans with the release of their very first video from 1988's anthemic One.
A fan came up and spit on me, and I was like, what the hell was that for? You made a video, you sold out. You said you'd never make a video. It's like, whoa.
When you release an album, then the first cut that's released to the radio station, you have to go do a video for that. And the question at the end of the day is why?
Wary of videos with more glam and hair than issues and intensity. It was after a treatment given to them by their manager that Metallica was finally sold on making a video for One.
We felt that what we could do with this video could be the antithesis to what everybody else was doing. We just felt we were involved, and we felt that we had something to say about what the videos were, and we were proud of them.
It really changed our lives.
See, that's us.
A lot more people on the street started recognizing us, but a lot of other people were kind of getting a little resentful that their favorite little band that they carry around in their back pocket got too big to fit in their back pocket.
Metallica savored their first taste of fame, but with the masses coming their way, would their core fan base desert them?
Please welcome Linkin Park's Chester Bennington and Blink-182's Travis Barker.
When I was a kid growing up, Metallica influenced me in a whole bunch of ways. When I was 13, I got my first Master of Puppets CD, and I got challenged to learn the whole thing on drums, and it changed my life. I don't know. Metallica's the Thank you.
Metallica is a really important band, not only to me and Travis, but I think really in the history of rock and roll, they're a very important and meaningful band. And, it's really hard to pull off a song that's got a lot of melody and a lot of soul and a lot of heart, and at the time to make it a really hard metal song. And they did that with One, and Korn's about to do that right now, so check them out.
I have so much respect for those guys, and I mean, to me, they're our peers.
Coming up in Chapter 4 of the Metallica story, breakdowns, bust-ups, and breakthroughs.
You want to hear it with vocals? Go sing it.
The making of the Black Album. Gentlemen, Michelle Branch.
Our next guests are a few of the courageous who have devoted their careers and their lives to the pursuit of freedom. The freedom to live, to be creative, and to express not merely for themselves, but for all of us. Please welcome United States Marines just back from Operation Iraqi Freedom. Corporal James Nickerson, Corporal Eric Medina, Sergeant Cassandra Savina, and Staff Sergeant Rick Langille.
Very much. It's great to be here tonight, and it's definitely amazing to be back home. You know, when you're far away doing a tough job like we've been doing here, music is one of the things that definitely reminds you of home. It helps you stay connected, it helps give you strength, and for me, nothing does that job like good old American rock and roll. It's always exciting to get a package from home, you know, some kind of care package, but nothing beats the pure escape of listening to your favorite song, like, say for me, it might be Metallica's Fade to Black. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for having us here tonight. Thank you to all the artists who can make music that can inspire one, whoever and wherever you are. And please, keep up the good job to justify the sacrifice of our comrades. Thank you.
Metallica's music matters to people, and with the release of 1991's Black Album, they matter to millions more of them than ever before. So let's take a look.
The Black Album. The stars aligned, it all happened.
If I looked you in the eye and told you that while we were making it, we felt there was just another record, I'd be lying. We knew it was special.
Summer of 1990 found legendary producer Bob Rock in the studio with Metallica.
The first thing that he told me was that he felt that we had never made a record that was up to our capabilities. And that was a bit of a battle cry, of course. Okay, fine, let's, bring it on then. We'd never really been challenged before.
We were just all highly suspicious of each other and of Bob Rock.
Cut to the chase and play, okay?
All right, man.
Now that you've, warmed up.
Why don't you try that song in a different key? Why don't you go yourself?
Egocentric is the way to sum up the recording of the Black Album.
I'm sick and tired of arguing.
It was just like the first thing you would do in the morning was put the battle armor on, prepare yourself for another 16 hours of just duking it out.
You want to hear it with vocals? Go sing it.
Lars and James weren't getting along at all.
One verse and one chorus, that's all I ask.
There's nobody that can push James Hetfield like me. I can piss him off in 5 seconds flat.
My throat is really right now. Okay. Buddy, pal. I wouldn't ask you to do a drum roll if your arm fell off. Two egos going in battle all the time.
The snare thing makes a kind of boogeyman.
Yeah, peace,
Because when the next section
shoot it down.
It's not as loud.
Idea.
We had to fight for pole position. We had to show that we were one up on the other guy.
Everything that's been put down the last 4 days, you can erase it. I'm here.
Brothers, brother stuff. Just being in there and trying so hard to write the best lyrics. And then if someone would say, that's okay.
What? This is fun, James.
After 5 million sales, Metallica's self-titled album became a standard bearer of heavy metal.
At that time, I think the mainstream was more open to accepting Metallica. Whether we went towards them, they came towards us, we met somewhere.
The Black Album marked a departure point for Metallica. Gone were the 10-minute anthems, and in their place were more introspective and crafted songs.
Sad but true. Two people in one. You know, I'm this guy on stage, and then when a fan comes up to me and says, "How can you be so mellow? Aren't you supposed to jump around and scream at me?" And then him be let down by that. It's like, man, how does that make me feel?
Started taking a lot of that frontman kind of thing with him off stage and using it to keep people at bay, to intimidate people.
Tired of being a clown. I mean, I'm not gonna act for you. Hello, I'm human.
So close, no matter how far.
So close no matter how far. I mean, yeah, that's us on the road. That was a song that I wrote on a 4-track in hotel rooms around the world. The difficulties around being on the road and trying to have a relationship.
And nothing else matters.
In the summer of 1991, Metallica took their music to the masses.
We knew that we needed to tour our asses off. Do the interviews, do the TV appearances, do the videos, do the photo sessions, do the shows. Our attitude was, bring it on.
The tour would last 2 years, span 5 continents, and include over 300 shows. Metallica indulged in the temptations of the road, leaving a strained and weary brotherhood.
Our managers would say, "Sad But True is now a big hit in Japan. We have to go back." My mind is going, "Yeah, let's do it." And my body's going, "No."
At the end of those 22 months, it made everything that was going on during the recording process look like a picnic.
Good morning. Son of bitches.
It was time to take a break.
In 10 short years, Metallica had gone from a gang of raucous teenagers to the biggest heavy metal band in the world. Could Metallica withstand the challenges of success?
Let's hear it for Jim Brewer.
Yeah! It's cool to be here as a fan of Metallica, you boys right there. This is its own army. Metallica has their own army. People don't just say Metallica. You know, when you ask about a band, like, dude, who's your favorite band? You never say Metallica. Metallica! Who do you like? Metallica! You had James Hetfield, one of the greatest lead men of all time, a front man of all time. He didn't even have to sing. He just came out and said, yeah, yeah! 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 Ooh. Then you had Lars. If you didn't believe this band was gonna kick your ass, little Lars would come out with a total different approach. What's up there, dudes? Just want to tell you all that we're gonna kick your testicles so hard tonight. They're gonna be dangling out your nostril, huh? Huh? Ain't that right, James? Yeah! Now they got a new world ahead of them. They got children. Half these guys have kids running around. And I'm sure it's gonna change the writing of this band. But I'm sure it's never gonna change their attitude and the way they perform. So this is for Metallica's new future of children. This is Metallica performing If You're Happy and You Know It. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Yeah! Are you happy? Show me! If you're happy and you know it. Yeah! Ooh! Do you really want to show it? Are you happy? Show me! Clap your hands!
I don't sound like that, do I? Yeah! I guess I do. Coming up, performances by Limp Bizkit.
Rock and roll, baby. Amazing.
And the icons themselves. Welcome, Jillian Barberie. And from MTV, Ian Robinson.
gotta say, I've been a massive Metallica fan ever since the day I was sent home from Assumption High School, Burlington, Ontario, Canada. It was a Catholic high school, for wearing my Metallica concert shirt underneath my schoolgirl uniform. And you know what? Yeah. Back then, I got in trouble for being a fan, and you know what? Now I get an all-access pass and a chance to be on the same damn stage as one of the greatest bands in the world, Metallica.
Well, you know what? I remember when I was but a wee lass first getting into metal, and my two friends, Josh and Jason, were like, dude, you have to listen to this record. And they handed me a record with white crosses all over it called Master of Puppets. And I was like, all right, I'm going to check this out. And I remember I played the first song, and I played the first song for a week because I figured, well, how could the rest of the record be any better than this? And I listened to the rest of the record, and it was amazing, and a metalhead was born. I bought all of their stuff, and while Black Sabbath created heavy metal, Metallica definitely perfected it. Metallica, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, to salute the fans of this incredible band, we'd like to ask them, a few of them on stage, to find out what Metallica means to them.
Give me the one word that sums up your love for Metallica.
Passion. Rock. Power.
Sinful.
Aggression.
Inspirational.
Rebellion. Yeah.
Orgasmic.
Energetic.
Medicine.
Gods.
Out of control.
This is... Thank you, Metallica!
Please welcome Limp Bizkit.
Metallica concert, nobody's sitting down. So everybody in those fucking seats, stand up, go. Get up. Get it, go. That's what I'm talking about. And I want all you people right here on the floor who are fortunate enough to be here tonight to move in pretty close. Come on in. You back there, come on in. All right. I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm gonna break the fuck out. Come on. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm gonna break the fuck out. Come on.
The new Metallica takes the stage for the very first time. Mud's Wes Scantlin.
Metallica! From the beginning of rock and roll has been an unstoppable form of revolution. But instead of tearing us apart, rock at its best unites us. Rock makes us one, but it's taken more than 20 years for rock and roll to unite Metallica. Take a look.
We're so in love with this album, it's sickening.
Saint Anger is more of a statement than anything else we've done in the past, more of a band statement.
Our newfound love for life, Metallica, and each other is just unfathomable. I never thought we could have gotten to this place.
May 2002. James Hetfield finally returns from 9 months of rehab and self-reflection, but does not plug in his guitar right away.
We sat in that room in there and talked for 3 months. And we never even walked into the studio.
I want to get down to what we are, why we're playing music, and make some music. I started talking about all this stuff to these guys, and some of it they got, some of it was a little, ooh, new age, man.
I can't do anything else. There's nothing else.
We're pretty good, dude.
We found out that James is really just still James.
Yeah.
A much clearer, sober version of James.
Right.
We realized that in order for Metallica to be challenging, reinvigorating, we needed to shake up everything that we knew about, all the processes, and just reinvent it.
Producer Bob Rock filled in on bass for the recording, but Metallica was still searching for something missing, their fourth member.
We didn't jump right in. We worked on ourselves, so when someone else steps in, it's clean. We have to respect this person.
Ozzy Osbourne would unknowingly provide that missing part. Bassist Robert Trujillo.
1 minute I'm at home just kicking it, and all of a sudden it's like, can you get up here? Can you come up to SF and meet with us? They sat down and they said, we want you to be the next bass player for Metallica. And I was like, whoa.
It felt great to have Rob in the band, and it felt good to just be all together, just kind of celebrating the fact that we were back. We need to root for Metallica. I cannot wait to see Metallica live. I'm going to be right there cheering them on.
The fact that we are still here, the fact that we have a record that I know is going to blow people's heads off, the fact that we have a new member of Metallica 22 years later, that's awesome.
There's more fire under our ass than ever before. We can't wait to get out and play this stuff live. We are on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Penn.
It was about 1985, and I was working in some city and staying in some hotel, along with a band called Metallica. And they had their tour bus outside, and when I pointed at that tour van and I said, Metallica is just too on the nose a name, they'll never make it. So what I knew was, and they're this year's icon, and that's because they are the... Ladies and gentlemen, Metallica.
feels unbelievable. We'd like to thank everyone who along this ride has made Metallica the strong force that it is, including our crew, our families, our friends, our fans, everyone. We've hooked up with the greatest people. We want to pay homage to the people who are here playing Metallica songs tonight, showing their respect for us. We take that right to our hearts. Thank you very much. And here's to the future of Metallica. You know, we're an icon, but we sure ain't done yet.
Nakedness is a good thing. We all